The bridge has been completed. Kersey is complete. But there's still 2 more sequels. Shut up. Death Wish 3. Okay, Mr. Michael Winner. Can I call you Mike? You had a great reason to make Death Wish 2, being that there was an 8-year gap, and a lot of things had changed in society during that time. So why is there a 3rd installment, let alone the fact that it has only been 3 years since the 2nd movie? Answer me. The plot. Paul Kersey, played yet again by Charles Bronson. This man never dies, oh shit. Has returned to New York to live his life. Why? Too bad things have become increasingly crooked in the way of crimes. Unfortunately for the muggers and rapists, Charles's presence alone is enough to want to make everyone want to fight back. It's turf versus tyrants. Who will come out on top? The only reasons for this movie to truly exist are that Michael Winner wanted 2 things: a gun-ho action extravaganza, and probably to show what happened to Kersey's hometown in the now 7 years he's been away. I know it's been 11 years since the first movie at the time this was made, but the second film takes place 4 years after the original, which would be 1978. That makes this 1981, I guess. If the Exterminator movies taught me anything, it is that it doesn't matter what year of the late 70s or 80s you're in, things can go batshit insane to an extreme extent. So let's look at this objectively. It's got great action, fun characters, and tons of charisma. Okay, so it's no masterpiece, but when does that stop a movie from being fun? The cons outweigh the pros in this installment, unfortunately, from abrupt and forced relationships to the cheese level dialed up to frickin' 10. This movie has explosions and it's not afraid to show them. I know the cheesiness doesn't ruin this flick or any other movie. If you put yourself in some other critic's shoes, you might find that since it's totally different from the first two, that something new and more fun would be too outlandish. Then again, those kind of people have massive sticks up their ass. Also, there's a plot twist that I didn't see coming and was quite surprised by. The police chief, Richard Shrieker, dude guy, played by Ed Launter, rest in peace, hires Kersey to take out the criminals and clean the streets. That is a freaking awesome concept. By the way, another freaky thing about the series, Death Wish 1 and 2 had a significant amount of main cast members die. Mostly recently too, like within the past 10 years. But let's get back to the fun stuff. This is a cheese fest through and through, with no real purpose to exist other than to entertain. In that, we get tons of one-liners, gun-toting civilians, and Charles freaking Bronson eating a fucking chocolate popsicle. The gore, the effects, we get some aftermaths of slashed throats, off-screen hackings, and bloody bullet hits. Nothing too over the top, but the gaggle of gang members are so off the wall that it's actually kind of disturbing at times. It helps that Frocker, played by Gavin O'Hurley from The Descent Part 2, is one intimidating SOB. He steals every scene he's in and can make you feel like he'd have no second thought about ending your life. And that is more effective than any special effects to be found in this movie. The musical score, Jimmy Page came to reuse the score from the second movie that he had composed. I feel it fits much better here than in Part 2. I think Michael Winner intentionally made this movie to piss critics off. He may have cut down on the rape and out-of-place music, but he amped up on the pacing, action, and gunpowder. This film cost $9 million, which is the most expensive Death Wish movie of the original franchise. It's only made $16 million worldwide, however, game and merchandise sales, and they opted for a 4th installment. Stay tuned for that. In closing, I'd say this is about on a par with Parts 2 in my opinion. Maybe it is slightly better, maybe it is slightly worse. One thing is for sure though. Charles Bronson has finished his 3-film bridge crossing, and he's now onto some crazy shit. Low overall I give Death Wish 3 a 3.5 out of 5. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, leave comments, and subscribe.